All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another collaboration beer. This time between Magnanimous Brewing, and they're out of Tampa, Florida, and J Wakefield Brewing, and they're out of Miami, Florida, and this is their Haze World Order. So they're calling this one a dry-hopped double IPA with Mosaic, Cashmere, and Pacific Sunrise hops. It comes in at 8.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, and this can is just over 5 weeks old. So if you don't know, if you don't follow the channel, then you might not know that I am a huge pro wrestling fan. I've been watching wrestling going back to the mid-'80s, and when it really got popular back in the late 90s, when the Monday Night Wars were happening between, at that time, WWF, now WWE, and WCW, the New World Order was the thing that kind of, I don't know, blew everything up at that point. And it all happened because Hulk Hogan became a bad guy, which nobody ever thought would happen. He formed the New World Order with Scott Hall, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and Kevin Nash, and the rest, as they say, is history. So when I saw this label, I was like, I'm buying that beer. It's going behind me on a pretentious wall of bottles and cans, regardless of what I think of the beer, because this label is fantastic. It's the same basically logo as the NWO, but it's H instead of the N for Haze instead of New. And I just love this can is absolutely fantastic, like without question, a fantastic label. I love it. They have a little spiel here on the side, which we'll read. It says, the Good Brothers from J Wakefield came to town to tag team this main event double IPA using 3 of the most over hops in the game to create a symphony of destruction. HWO for life. Anyway, yeah, I'm really pumped about this one. I hope it's delicious. I've had one beer straight from Magnanimous on the channel. It was their Juice Lord Have Mercy. It was fantastic. I've had a couple more since then off camera that I've really enjoyed. So yeah, hopefully this is delicious. Give it a pour here. It's looking beautiful. We're right out of the can here, pouring it into this big hot butcher glass. I want to try to get the whole thing in here if I can. And this glass can hold entire 16 fluid ounce can of a hazy. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one. I'm hoping it's delicious. We will see. They also say the cashmere comes from Michigan. It's Michigan cashmere hops. So yeah, that has a little bit of a darker kind of tinge to it. Not quite like an oxidized level, but this is like a dark kind of honey orange color. Murky turbo, can't see through it. A finger of a super creamy, almost nitro-esque head. It's off-white, but it's fantastic as far as like the look of it. It's so creamy. Hold it up to the light, can't see through it. I mean, as far as like a hazy beer goes, that looks fantastic. Maybe a little bit darker than some of you would prefer with your hazies, but not for me. And what the hell is this? Something on the outside of my glass. I couldn't tell you what that is, but it's been saved. Anyway, let's get a nose. Oh, interesting. So I'm getting like, I don't say this a lot, but I'm getting like guava. A little bit of guava in here. Honeydew melon, maybe even a cantaloupe, but definitely melon heavy. This is very tropical. So guava, melon, maybe a touch of like passion fruit, pineapple, dare I say lychee. Underlying citrus tones, your typical orange and grapefruit. Maybe even a little bit of berry. Mosaic, yeah. Mosaic's bringing berry back, which is fantastic. There is, it's pretty sweet. 8.5%. It has like almost like a higher double end into like, or double IPA into lower like triple IPA kind of sweetness. Slight confectionery kind of sweetness. A little bit like vanilla. Very minute dankness as well. It just smells like a sweet, fruity, like tropical fruit bomb of a hazy. I ain't mad at it. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. That's nice. That's a nice double IPA. It might be a little bit sweet for some, and I could see this maybe becoming an issue as I reach the end of the can in terms of sweetness, because it doesn't have a lot of bitterness, and it's pretty sweet. It has the malt character, but then like what the hops are producing as far as characteristics is again, it's fruity. So it's just like the malt is combining with the hops and getting me more of like a sweeter kind of fruit character. Body mouthfeel. Mine, this is like higher side of medium, lower side of full for 8.5%. Great. The mouthfeel, it's mildly carbonated. It is very soft on the palate. It's smooth. It's somewhat creamy. So the body mouthfeel are actually quite nice. The taste. Forefront, there's a lot of, again, citrus. I would say it's orange, grapefruit, tangerine, pretty much it. And it's more of like a juicy, sweeter citrus character. As it passes through, the tropical hits, and I'm going to stick by that guava, honeydew melon, a little bit of passion fruit, pineapple. Like you could pretty much say like almost any tropical fruit, and I'd be like, all right, see it, lychee. It's definitely a tropical fruit bomb halfway through the palate. There is an underlying sweetness again from the malt, and it's a lot of times I'll get like a vanilla, cotton candy, bubblegum kind of like yeast kind of character, and then that combines with, if you're drinking a double or a triple, you know, a lot of malt being used obviously for the ABV, so it starts giving you that characteristic but in like sweeter form. This is more of that vanilla kind of sweetness, so it's turning some of those fruits into almost a creamsicle-esque kind of vibe, but not like over the top. This does finish with a semi to full-on dryness, and there's this nice earthy kind of floral sensation on the finish as well. So is this cloying? No. Could it be cloying as I continue to drink on it? Maybe. But each sip, it's not too much now, but in 15, 20 minutes as I start to finish this, could it be too much? It could be. Oh yeah, 8.5%. Nah. Outside of the body and the mouthfeel, definitely replicating something in double IPA form. It doesn't have the booze I'd associate with an almost 9% beer. I really like this, but I don't love it. I love the label. I love the name. I love everything about the beer outside of the beer itself. But I have to be honest with my review. I would say this is definitely in the 4 range. Which isn't a bad thing. That's you know, a good beer. This is good to very good, right? So this is like higher side of the 4 range. So Haze World Order, a collaboration between Magnanimous and J Wakefield. I am going to give this a very solid 4.1 out of 5. I'm going to go high 4 out of 5. I think that's where it lands. If not for the sweetness, you know, and you know, really no lack of, you know, the lack of bitterness. There's really no bitterness here. I would probably give this more in like the low 4.5 or 4.25 into 4.25 range, but as is, a 4.1 I think is a good score. If I factored in the name of it and the you know, the whole everything about this beer outside of the beer itself, this would be like a 5 out of 5, right? But you got to be honest. So, but I love this label, and it's definitely going behind me. It's a 4.1 out of 5. So, price point availability. I don't remember what I paid for this, but Magnanimous stuff is surprisingly well priced, coming from Florida, and a lot of times they're you know, you would think like out of state, especially all the way from the south, you would think it'd be real expensive, right? I think it was like $5.50 for that can, maybe $6. Now, you know, an 8.5% beer locally here from like other half is typically like $20 a 4-pack, so $5 a can. So for an extra 50 cents or $1 getting distro from, you know, many miles away, I'm okay with that. And the other one was the same thing, that Juice Lord may have, or Juice Lord have mercy. Same thing. So, yeah, it's fine for the price point and availability. I have no idea with Magnanimous. I just know here in the Buffalo, New York area, we get their stuff. And we get, like, when they do a drop, they usually drop like anywhere between like 4 to 6 beers. And I picked up this one just because, for obvious reasons. And I'm not as disappointed that I did, but there were a couple others that sounded pretty good as well. So, next time we get a drop from them, I'll try something else out. But yeah, this is a really good beer, but that Juice Lord Have Mercy was just on another level. This is a nice collaboration, but it's all about the can for me. So if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. Hides the alcohol so well, and I'm going to drink the rest of that, and I think I'll be able to finish it and not have any real issues with it. So anyway, if you've had anything from Magnanimous or this beer specifically, I would love to hear from you. Till the next one. Cheers.